In this particular instance, we're talking about a homeowners association. Before I get started and before I forget, if you like what you see in the video, please subscribe, click the bell for notifications. Homeowners associations, they charge a fee, and hopefully, you get some sort of amenities or something out of them to live in a certain community. There's a lot we can go into with homeowners associations, but things to remember: they may or may not cover certain things as far as maintenance of your building, maintenance of your place. The associations that cover single-family homes, these are typically pretty straightforward. You usually get a pool and maybe a gym, and maybe there's some walking trails, things like that. And they charge you a certain amount per month, $50, $100, and you have the right to use all those things that they provide for you. And they maintain the neighborhood, they maintain all the amenities, and that's basically what you're paying. When you get into townhouses and condominiums and those type of things, the rules are a little different. Also, 55 and up communities, the rules are going to be different. The price of the HOA and or maintenance fees, or whatever they're going to call it, are typically going to be higher, and they're going to cover more, and there's going to be things that they don't cover, which is what I ran across. If you don't take the time to read the Homeowners Association documents, you can find yourself in a situation where you thought you had some coverage for something in your building. Turns out maybe you don't. We're going to look into that. I'm going to show you what HOA documents look like. I'm going to just show you an example. Unfortunately, they're usually anywhere from 25 pages to 150 pages long. I've seen them all. The one I'm going to show you is about 75 pages long. So we're going to get to all that in just a second. Let me switch this over. Okay, so here we go. This is HOA Documents. It starts off with definitions. So the definitions are just going to tell you what the words that they're going to use through this whole thing mean. City means the city of and its department, county of Hillsborough, So that's pretty straightforward. Once they get through that, then we start getting into, what does all this mean to me? And we go down, and it starts off with Article 2, property rights, owner easements and enjoyment. I'm not going to go through all this, or we'll be here forever. But I just wanted to show you some of the things that are, contained in this. And I'm just going to scroll through, rules and regulations, right of access, private streets. We're still talking about easements, things like that. Utility easements, drainage, fire sprinklers. These things typically cover just anything and everything that they can possibly think of, which is why these documents get extremely long. Now here they're talking about, hey, can I park my truck, trailer, or camper? This one says no trucks in excess of 3/4 ton. There's limits on what kind of vehicle you can have there. Can I put up a fence or a wall screen or something like that? No fence, wall, so these are things that you got to look at. Garbage and trash disposal. What am I doing with my trash? This happens to be a townhouse. And they're row townhouses, so they're all, under one roof, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. I'm going to show you the what it looks like. Windows, air conditioners. It's going to go over everything that you can think of. So, in particular, a lot of things people ask me, oh, can I have a dog? Maybe. And so we would have to look up what's the deal with pets. Some of them will have restrictions on how big your dog can be. what kind of dog. And maybe they don't allow, a lot of them don't allow what they term to be aggressive breeds. And that's not limited to just like pit bulls. You know, sometimes it's German Shepherds, it's Golden Retrievers, because they're big dogs. Can I lease the place after I buy it? The rules for all of that are going to be in your HOA documents. Maybe you can, maybe you can't lease it. Maybe you can, and you can only lease it a couple times a year. Sometimes there's minimum periods of lease. I can only lease the minimum amount of time I can lease it for would be 3 months, nothing less than that. No Airbnb. You know, there's a lot of things that go into it. All of this, you know, who's going to cover the roof? Who's going to take care of the building maintenance, the exterior, which is what we're going to talk about for my clients. So all of this is in some form or another in here. And if you have a concern about whether you're going to be able to do or not do something, or have or not have something, it's going to be buried in the HOA docs somewhere. What happened with my client? This is an inspection report that we're looking at here. I'm going to show you what exactly we ran into. This is the front of the building here. Let me come back to this. I'm going to show you. So this is what the townhouses look like. They're row townhouses. And here's ours in the middle, right smack in the middle of this row. And that's what we're dealing with. So, you know, when you see this, you think, okay, the HOA is going to take care of the roof. And they're going to want to paint the whole place the same color. So they're going to take care of the paint. And these are things you just kind of assume off the top of your head as you look at it. And what we ran across here, so what we have here, this is in the front, right above the garage. You can see the crack in the stucco. All of this is allowing water to seep in, and it's running down and it's coming through into the garage. And so that's what we're looking at. And the first thing that the selling agent said, oh, is the HOA will take care of that. It's the exterior of the building. And I thought, yeah, you know what, he's probably right. But we're not going to leave that to chance. We're going to check it out. We're going to read the HOA documents and see, are they going to cover that? And what do we find in the HOA documents? This is the responsibility of the association. What are they going to cover? What are they going to do? And it tells you here, they're going to provide lawn maintenance on each lot, and they're going to, it's included but not limited to. There's a lot of legal spiegel jargon in a lot of these HOA documents. They have the exclusive right to conduct exterior maintenance, including but not limited to the repair and maintenance of common areas, improvement, roofs, lawns, things like that. You come down here, it tells you the association has the exclusive right to painting and repair of exterior building services every 10 years or more often if deemed necessary by the board of directors. The initial time period to commence from the date that the first lot is sold to a residential owner. So you read that, and if you kind of stop there, you think, okay, they're going to take care of the exterior of the building. And they're going to paint it every 10 years. That sounds great, right? Well, what it says down here, you read a little further, the association's duty of exterior maintenance does not include glass, doors, windows, and here's the important part, building exteriors, with the exception of painting preparation required prior to the specific project of painting all building exteriors. So, what they're telling you is, and what I found out after calling them out on it, are you going to fix this or not? The answer is no. We're not going to fix it because we're not due to paint. Now, if we were scheduled to paint here in a month or so, yeah, we'd come fix that for you because it's going to be part of the paint job. Since that's not on our to-do list, we're not going to fix this. You, as the townhouse owner, are responsible for repairing this outside stucco damage to keep the water from seeping in and leaking down into the garage. That was on page 19. Lucky for me, it wasn't on page 75. But, after you read, a bunch of these, you kind of get used to the flow and where you kind of know where to look for some of these things. But there you have it. You have to take a look at the HOA document. So the way this turned out, I went to the listing agent, and this is after we had already negotiated the price. We had negotiated for a new air conditioner and some other minor repairs that we were compensated monetarily for. This is something that we wanted done prior to close. And after a little bit of back and forth, the sellers agreed that, yes, they're going to get it done. And funny part about it is they're going to have it patched and sealed so there's no more leak. They're not going to paint anything because the HOA is going to come along at some point and they're going to paint it whatever color the HOA votes and approves on. So these are the kind of things your agent needs to be looking out for. It's little things like this that, had my clients just, if we just went with it and they would have moved in, find out later it's not covered, they're calling me up. Hey, Brett, you know what? That stucco repair, I got a hit for it, however much, a couple hundred, couple thousand, who knows? That's all I got for you today. Thanks so much, and we'll see you on the next one. As always, if you're looking to buy or sell in the Tampa Bay area, my contact information will be below.